wills and wanted us to be close and nearer to Him. As Allah says, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, ittaqullah, wabtaghu ilayhi al-wasila. So, wabtaghu ilayhi al-wasila, Ibn Abbas says, radiyallahu ta'ala an, zari'at al-taqarrub ilayhi. Look for means of going close to Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Mufassirin have said, bil-ibadat wa ta'at. That zari'at al-taqarrub is ibadat and ta'at. Now, what is ibadah and what is ta'at and how we will do it? For the set purpose, we have to ask Allah Himself, like, what is your ibadah? How can we do it? What is your ta'at? How can we do it? As long as you do not know it from Allah, you cannot invent your own way of ibadah. That will not be considered ibadah. As in Al-Qawaid al-Fiqhiyya, I have written 2 books in this regard. One is Al-Qawaid al-Fiqhiyya fi al-Mazahib al-Arba'a. So then the ulama there, and great ulama, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them, they said that if you can a little bit furthermore explain it. So then I wrote another book, النخبة الذكية والزكية في القواعد الفقهية في المذاهب الأربعة. الذكية بالزال and الذكية بالزاء. النخبة الذكية والزكية في القواعد الفقهية. So in these القواعد الفقهية, there is one قاعدة, الأصل في الأشياء الإباحة, and another one, الأصل في الأفعال الإباحة. So now these 2 قواعد, according to Jumhur, Imam Malik, Imam Shafi, and Ahmad ibn Hanbal, rahimahumullah, that is as is. But according to Abu Hanifa, rahmatullahi alayh, the first one is as is. Al-aslu fil ashya'i al-ibaha. If Sharia has not said such like thing is haram to eat it, so then that is halal, you can eat it. But if Sharia said that is haram, that you cannot eat it, because asl in ashya is ibahat. But al-aslu fil af'ali al-ibaha, Imam rahmatullahi alayh, he is making an exception therefrom. Al-aslu fil af'ali al-ibaha illa al-ibadat. That in ibadat, asl is not ibahat. Any action which you are doing as ibadat, that will be haram, because you cannot invent your own way of ibadah. Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi says, you can invent your own way of ibadah, he call it istislah. That is for the islah al-nafs. So you can create a way, he call it manazir or mazahir. So you can make some manazir or mazahir, how to do the islah of yourself. And I was telling the brothers that that is just like tasawwuf of nowadays. Yes, our ulama of tasawwuf and ilm suluk, they are doing this way. These ways were not known there in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam or in the time of Sahaba. But still, we are looking at that with nazarul istihsan. So that is the actual istislah of Imam Malik rahmatullahi alayh. That this is the way of ibadah. So you can do another way of ibadah. But Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayh says you have to avoid bid'at. And bid'at is not to introduce your own way of ibadah. So how we came to know that this way of ibadah will take you close to Allah. Allah sent for the said purpose Anbiya alayhimu salawat wa taslimat, and they taught us that pray like this and fast like this and do like this and do like this. And that is a type of wahi, and that is as hujjah as the holy book is. So as far as the ijazah is concerned, so I related or recited that hadith of Sufyan ibn Uyayna from Abu Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, ar-rahimun yarhamu ar-rahman irhamu man fil ardi yarhamukum man fis sama. So as I mentioned yesterday, that I learnt ilm al-hadith with Shaykh al-hadith Maulana Abdul Haq Sahib rahmatullahi alayh. Shaykh al-hadith al-itlaq in India, when it was mentioned, so all the ulama, they know that this is Maulana Zakariya Sahib rahmatullahi alayh. In Pakistan, when Shaykh al-hadith was mentioned, that Shaykh al-hadith Sahib said it. So all the ulama, they were aware of that Maulana Abdul Haq Sahib is meant. And Maulana Abdul Haq Sahib rahmatullahi alayh, he was the Ustad al-Hadith in Darul Deoband. But when the partition took place, so then Hazrat Madani rahmatullah alayhi, he ordered him that now you are in a different country and we are in a different country, so you should not come back. You should start there. So Darul Haqqaniya, that was the first ever madrasa which was started after partition by Maulana Abdul Haq Sahib rahmatullah alayhi in his masjid. Even though, as I mentioned, that he was teaching there in Darul Deoband, and when Hazrat Madani rahmatullah alayhi, he was in jail, so he sent a message that give my books, Bukhari Jild Awwal and Tirmizi Jild Awwal, to Mawlana Abdul Haq Salatullah alayh. So it is said for a long time he was crying that my Shaykh put that much trust in me, that I will teach his book. So it means that he has the talent. And to tell you one thing else, there is another Mawlana Abdul Haq, he was also Pashtun. He was also, maybe you have known through history, when Shaykh Saheb Rahmatullahi alayh, he was there in Malta, in prison. So who were with him in prison? Say. Not only Hazrat Madani, Rahmatullahi alayh. Number one, with him there was Mansoor Ansari, number one. Number two, Hakim Nusrat Hussain Sahab. Number three, Maulana Hussain Ahmad Madani. And number four, Maulana Uzair Gul Sahab Asiri Malta. These were his students and they were with him in Malta. Maulana Uzair Gul Sahab, he was the big brother. A small brother, his name was Maulana Abdul Haq Nafi Gul. Maybe you know on internet there is one young man, and he is a alim also, a very good orator, Mia Adnan Kaka Khair. Yeah. You know that? Yeah. Maulana Adnan Kaka Khair. He is the grandson of Maulana Uzair Gul Sahab and Maulana Abdul Haq Nafi Gul both. Because his father, he was the son of Maulana Abdul Haq Nafi Gul, and his mother was the daughter of Maulana Uzair Gul Sahab. And Maulana Uzair Gul and Maulana Abdul Haq Nafi Gul, they both were brothers and they were the students of Hazrat Shaykh Saheb Rahmatullahi alayh. Maulana Abdul Haq Nafi Gul, he was teaching in Darul Deoband as well. So once somebody said to Shaykh al-Islam Hazrat Madani Rahmatullahi alayh that Maulana Abdul Haq Sahib is Nafi'. And why his name is that long? Because his mother named him as Nafi Gul and father named him as Abdul Haq. And a dispute happened between husband and wife that he is to be Nafi Gul or to be Abdul Haq or Nafi Gul. So then Shaykh Madani, Shaykh Rahmatullah alayh, he said that combine both the names. So that's why he is called Maulana Abdul Haq Nafi Gul. But briefly, ulama used to call him Maulana Abdul Haq Nafi. The Gul is dropped. Yeah, Tarkhim al-Munada. So anyhow, Maulana Abdul Haq Nafi. So somebody said to Shaykh al-Islam Hazrat Madani Rahmatullahi alayh that this Maulana Abdul Haq is Nafi. What about this other Maulana Abdul Haq, our Shaykh Rahmatullahi alayh? He said that he is Anfa'. Yes, so he was our Shaykh, Maulana Abdul Haq Rahmatullahi alayh. And my other teacher, he was also the student of Maulana Abdul Halim Sahab, but too much impressed by Maulana Muhammad Ibrahim Sahab Bilyawi, Rahmatullahi alayh, the Muhaddis of Darul Deoband. So Maulana Abdul Halim Sahab, we used to call him Sadrul Sudur. Yes, because he was Sadrul Mudarrisin of Darul Haqqaniya, so we used to call him Sadrul Sudur. Or briefly, we used to call him Sadr Sahab. That now, whose class is there? We used to say Sadr Sahab. And he was such a strict man that Maulana Samulak Sahab, sometime he was saying that when Sadr Sahab is walking, even the trees, they are standing calm and quiet. Maulana Abdul Haq Sahab, he was walking in Darul, students were running here and there. But whenever Maulana Abdul Halim Sahab was seeing that he came out of his house and coming to Darul Hadith or to Darsgah or whatever, all the students, they were standing like. He was a very strict man. So he was my other Shaykh. And my third Shaykh, as you mentioned, Maulana Mufti Farid Sahab Rahmatullahi alayh. So now their sanad, that is known to you. And Maulana Mufti Farid Sahab Rahmatullahi alayh sanad is that he was a student of Hazrat Shaykh al-Hadith, Maulana Siruddin Sahab Qudsi Rahmatullahi alayh, who was called as the Shah Waliullah Afagina. Yes, the Pashtun people, Shah Waliullah, Maulana Siruddin Sahab Qudsi Rahmatullahi alayh. And Maulana Qudsi Rahmatullahi alayh, he was a student of Maulana Khwaja Qamruddin Sahab. And Maulana Khwaja Qamruddin Sahab, he was a direct student of Hazrat Maulana Rashid Ahmad Gangohi Rahmatullahi alayh. And as I mentioned, and then after Maulana Rashid Ahmad Gangohi, Maulana Ahmad Ali Salanpuri and Shah Abdul Ghani Sahab. They both are their mashayikh, like as they both are the mashayikh of Maulana Qasim Nanoti Rahmatullahi alayh. And then Shah Abdul Ghani Sahab Rahmatullahi alayh, he was the student of Maulana Shah Muhammad Ishaq Sahab. And Shah Muhammad Ishaq Sahab, he learnt a hadith from Shah Abdul Aziz Sahab and Shah Abdul Aziz Sahab from Shah Waliullah Rahimahullah. And my fourth teacher of hadith, who from I have got the permission and I learnt with, that is Maulana Muhammad Ali Sahab Sawati Rahmatullahi alayh. He was a student of Shaykh al-Hadith Maulana Zakariya Sahab and Fazil of Mazhar Ulum Saharanpur. And Maulana Zakariya Saheb was student of Maulana Muhammad Yahya Kandelvi, his own father, and the student of Maulana Khalil Ahmad Saheb Saharanpuri, Sahib Badl Majhood. And Maulana Saharanpuri Rahmatullah was student of Maulana Rashid Ahmad Saheb, and the remaining is like that. And as I mentioned, that in our time, Hakim Islam Maulana Qari Tayyib Saheb Rahmatullah, he was visiting Pakistan. So he came to Darul Haqqaniya, and Darul Haqqaniya, that is his name he had given to Darul Haqqaniya, Maulana Qari Tayyib Saheb, that Sani Darul Deoband. So still that is the title of Darul Haqqaniya, Sani Darul Deoband. So Maulana Qari Tayyib Saheb Rahmatullah, he gave us dars of hadith and gave us the permission and the ijazah, and he gave us dars of hadith in Shamail of Tirmizi, and then gave us ijazah. And Maulana Qari Tayyib Saheb Rahmatullah, he was student of Imam Allama Rashid Saheb Kashmiri, and Allama Rashid Kashmiri was student of Shaykh Saheb Rahmatullah, and then the remaining sanad is like this. So as you were insisting for ijazah, even though I am not entitled for that, I don't have that much status, but that was your husn zan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make your husn zan sadiq on me, and just make dua for me. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me some knowledge and ilm of deen, and not only ilm of deen, but may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me tawfiq to practice accordingly, because actually in ilm the amal is needed, and that is meant by ilm. And ilm is taking its value and price and status and position from amal. Only in this regard I will give you one example, that kalb or dog, muhaddisin, they have written a chapter Babu Maja fi Sur al-Kalb. There are three types of hadith: yughsalu salasan, yughsalu sab'an, yughsalu samaniyatan, ihdahunna bit-turab, faghsilu sab'a marrat, faghsilu samana marrat, ihdahunna bit-turab. Imam Malik Rahmatullah, even though he doesn't believe that the dog is najas, I am not referring to najasul ain. He is najasul ain only according to Imam Shafi Rahmatullah alayhi. According to Abu Hanifa, only khinzir is najasul ain, dog is not najasul ain. But Imam Shafi Rahmatullah alayhi says he has similarity with the khinzir, so he made based on qiyas that he is najasul ain as well, but not according to us. And Imam Malik Rahmatullah alayhi says the dog is not najas even his saliva, that is not najas, but still his mazhab is that fasilu sab'a marratin ihdahunna bit-turab, that wash it. So we say, why Imam Malik, with due respect to you, you are our imam, but on one hand you say saliva is not najas, on the other hand you say fasilu sab'a marratin, that wash is 7 times. So why you are washing the part then 7 times? He said al-amru ta'budiyun, that this amr ta'budi, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it. We are not going for a reason why we are washing it, but Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said wasilu sab'a marratin, so we have to wash it. And Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi said it would be washed only 3 times, because anjasun najasat is to be washed only 3 times, it will become pure. So what about, so then they say, but in hadith fasilu sab'a marrat, samaniya marrat, so why that is expression in hadith. So why you are not taking into consideration? Imam Rahmatullah alayhi said, ليس هذا الأمر شرعيا ولكنه أمر طبي. That is amr tibbi. So they say Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a medical doctor, that he was giving tibbi nuskhas and prescriptions that do it like this and do it like this for tib and for medicine and things like that. Imam Rahmatullah said, no, qarina is there once again, qarina. Take into consideration qarina. Qarina is a very strong thing. Yes, that qarina is there. And what is that qarina? Ihdahunna bit-turab. So Imam Rahmatullah alayhi says, turab is dirt. It is called dirt. So turab makes things dirty, not paper. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that saliva of dog, you have to wash it once with dirt. So this indicates that this is amri tibbi. Why? Because in dirt there are some particles of noshadar. Noshadar is a natural chemical. There is some parts of noshadar, and noshadar is killing the rabies of the mouth of dog. It is killing the rabies of the mouth of dog. So Imam Rahmatullah alayhi said, that's why it means that that is amri tibbi, that's not amri shar'i. Amri shar'i is faghsilu sab'a marratin. But the same dog, if you will teach him and train him, وَمَا عَلَّمْتُم مِّنَ الْجَوَارِحِ مُكَلِّبِينَ تُعَلِّمُونَهُنَّ مِمَّا عَلَّمَكُمُ اللَّهُ. So if you will look into the ayah, وَمَا عَلَّمْتُم, derived from ilm. وَمَا عَلَّمْتُم مِّنَ الْجَوَارِحِ plural of jariha. Jariha in the meaning of kasiba, here in the meaning of sa'idah. وَمَا عَلَّمْتُ مِنَ الْجَوَارِحِ. And that sweat, that's also a profession, and that profession is also ilm. So that is number 2. مُكَلِّبِينَ مِنْ كَلَّبْتُ الْكَلْبَ. When you train the kalb how to hunt. So that is a 3rd ta'lim. مُكَلِّبِينَ تُعَلِّمُونَهُنَّ, the 4th ilm. مِمَّا عَلَّمَكُمُ اللَّهِ, the 5th ilm. So 5 times Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentioned the word ilm are similar to ilm or muradif of ilm. So it means the deep of every knowledge of every issue must be a deep one. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned it 5 times. So deep one. Even though if that is the knowledge of one single issue, but that is a deep one, and then practice accordingly, so the rules are getting changed for. So now the same dog whose saliva is to be washed 7 times, 8 times, once with, or at least 3 times, according to Abu Hanifa, rahmatullahi alayh. But he learnt only one mas'ala of deen, which is hunting. But a deep knowledge of that and practical experience that you sent him once hungry, and he brought the hunted rabbit to you intact. Didn't eat anything therefrom. 2nd time, 3rd time, and all the 3 times he brought it intact and didn't eat even though he was hungry. So now, as you know, that in Kitabul Istiyad, we are talking about kalb and we are talking about al-bazi, the bird. Al-bazi, the eagle, yes, the bird. So then Imam Rahmatullahi alayh, he says that you have to change the nature, that will be the proper ilm. So now the nature of dog is greed for eating. So if you trained him to such an extent that he was hungry, but he did not eat therefrom, once, 2, 3 times. So it means that now he is a practical mode Isab. Now he is a practical mode of that one masala. So now the rules got changed for him. His saliva was dirty, now his hunted dead animal is halal for you. So that's why the ulama says that actually the ilm mean to practice. If the practice is not there, but unfortunately me personally, I don't have any practice. Yes, sometimes I miss the prayer as well. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive and forbid. Sometimes it happens. Yes, excuses are there. So it means that is not taqwa and that is not proper ilm. You have to practice. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq. That's what our ulama, they used to tell us every time whenever they were giving us nasiha. One of the Farisa, rahmatullahi alayh, at the time of graduation, he used to give 10 nasayah. So in these 10 nasayah, the much more important, he said that these 10 nasayah is equal to 1 point. So we said, Shaykh, what is that 1 point? He said, practice, practice, practice. If a doctor, he got a degree of specialization, but he does not do clinic, so he doesn't know anything about medical. Because practice is must. So same will be the case of a alim. As I mentioned last night, that Qazi Abu Yusuf, rahimahullah, he asked Imam rahmatullahi alayh, بماذا يصير الرجل عالما? So he said, بتعلمه من المشايخ وبتدرسه الكتب. بتعلمه من المشايخ وبتدرسه الكتب, to study the books that he learned from ulama. And then he asked him, وبما يصير الرجل فقيها? So he said, بأن يعمل بما قد علمه. Whatever he learned, to practice it, so it will make him faqih. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulih Muhammadin wa alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Allahumma rabbana a'atina ilman nafi'a wa amalan mutaqabbala wa rizqan tayyiba wa shifa'an min kulli da'. Allahumma inna na'udhu min ilmin la yanfa' wa min qalbin la yakhsha' wa min nafsin la tashba' wa min du'a'in la yusma'. Oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, give us the ilm of Quran and Sunnah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq of practice accordingly. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, these ulama are greater ulama than me. I am a simple student of Quran and Sunnah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep me as a student of Quran and Sunnah until my last moment of life. and these are ulama. But as they were thinking that my sanad will be a little bit ali than their sanad, and they insisted for that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as that was the amanat of our mashayikh and amanat of our ulama. So I give them that ijaza, as that is the sunnah of our mashayikh and our teacher. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with that ijaza bless me and bless them as well. Bless me and bless them as well. Bless me and bless them as well. Wa sallallahu ta'ala ala khairi khalqi Muhammadin wa alihi wa ashabihi.